$30,000 drained from her bank account.
It's still hard to sleep, and it's still hard to deal with the fact that I may never see this money again.
A customer shares her cautionary tale in a Coin6 investigation. So Coin6 discovered scammers are stealing people's life savings using fraudulent wire transfers and getting away with it.
And of course, we know you hear this. It's absolutely frustrating. Let's bring in our investigator, Elise Haas, here now to show you how exactly they do it and also how you can protect yourself. Elise, I know you've already helped some people, thankfully, get their money back.
Yeah, so after those investigations where I was able to help those customers get reimbursed for fraudulent wire transfers at Chase Bank, people from all over the country and even outside of the country started emailing me asking for help, but their cases were different. They fell victim to a scam called spoofing. According to the FBI, Americans were spoofed out of more than $107 million last year.
I woke up to a text that alerted me that I was having some issues on my debit card with Chase.
Then Melissa Ferrari's phone started ringing.
Hello? Welcome to Chase.
I got a phone call with the very recognizable Chase voice of a female saying that there was potential wire fraud on my account and that I needed to press 1 to speak to a fraud agent.
Or to report unrecognized charges.
The next person on the line identified himself as a Chase representative and reassured her he was legitimate, telling her to compare the phone number on the back of her debit card. The numbers matched.
So he had me input numbers. I kept getting texts from Chase giving me identification codes and all kinds of things. And after a few hours, he had said, okay, your account's locked. Take 2 forms of ID, walk into a branch, and get your account unlocked.
She went to her Chase Bank branch in Northwest Portland and told the bankers the whole story.
So as a customer, I'm thinking, I'm sitting with the banker. They're giving me reassurance that everything looks fine. And I walked out of the door not realizing that I was now launching this whole scheme on the part of someone on the phone that didn't work for Chase.
Over a week, the scammer stole $30,000 via wire transfers.
To me, it's a lifetime of work.
They're very organized, sophisticated, and leveraging technology.
Ashley Scola oversees the fraud department at First Tech Credit Union in Hillsborough. She says people need to be aware criminals can spoof legitimate phone numbers.
So when you see it, you think it's for your financial institution, for a trusted business, or even a friend or family member, but it's not.
Their goal is to manipulate you into giving up information like your date of birth, social security number, account numbers, and card information using scare tactics.
They try to create that stress and panic so that you're not thinking logically about the information that they're asking.
I surveyed dozens of victims who contacted me about wire fraud. 70% of the victims said the caller already knew significant personal information about them or their bank account. This is usually due to large data breaches, but beware. A quick Google search can also be to blame. Criminals can also spoof banks' websites, so customers will log in thinking it's their bank, but in reality, you're sending the scammers your username and password. But financial institutions have additional controls on transactions. That's why scammers will call you to fish for the final bits of answers they need to complete their high-dollar heist. In these cases, they're using wire transfers, which are more devastating due to their larger limits and difficulty tracking.
It is just like handing someone cash. We can't force them to give it back to our institution, even if it is reported as fraud, even if, we see it and we confirm that we believe it is fraud as well.
The Electronic Fund Transfer Act and the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau's Regulation E require banks to repay customers when funds are illegally taken out of their account without authorization. In the last year, additional protections were added for consumers. For example, if someone was duped into giving a fraudster their personal information or a one-time passcode, that no longer is considered as authorizing the transaction. But wire transfers are explicitly excluded from these regulations. That means big banks often don't reimburse their clients' wire fraud claims. Melissa Ferrari never did get her money back, but she got an apology after going to a different Chase Bank branch in downtown Portland.
And then she looked at me and said, I am so sorry we failed you. I've talked with the other branch and I know what happened to you there. We should have closed your accounts that very first day.
As spoofing scams are highly successful, she hopes Chase Bank will do more to put fraudsters out of business.
Knowing that there are so many people in the same position that I am, and some people that have even suffered much larger losses financially, and knowing that we have no real recourse against the bank for various reasons is heartbreaking.
In a statement, Chase Bank said in part, these types of scams are heartbreaking. As soon as Ms. Ferrari reported the scam, we tried to get her money back, but were not successful. We urge all consumers to protect their accounts by never sharing personal information with someone they don't know.
Gosh, and you feel for her. She seemingly did the right thing, went to a bank and thought everything was okay, then had to go to another bank. Oh my gosh, I know so many people, we're all watching this like, what if this happens to me? What can all of us do to protect ourselves and our money?
All right, so most financial institutions, you can have a verbal password, and that's where you make sure that someone can't come in and impersonate you or get online and impersonate you. Some other options are also using multi-factor authentication, and definitely choose text. Do not use email. And lastly, you can also check with your financial institution to see if they can restrict or disable access to certain payment channels that you might not use, like wire transfers. So those are some really good things that people can call up their bank tomorrow and say, hey, what are some of my options? But I also know that some of the victims that I talked to have also opted to switch from big banks to then going to smaller credit unions.
This is only going to get worse with AI being able to impersonate people's voices. So say your grandmother gets a phone call from you and it's not really you, but it sounds like you. People really have to be on guard. It's hard to keep up with the laws. You've talked to federal lawmakers. Is there any hope here of help, getting more help?
They have done some stuff for like SIM swapping, which is some of the other Chase Bank scams that I've been able to, help people get their money back. But lawmakers all agreed that there does need to be more consumer financial protections to keep up with the financial, fraud that's happening today. Because we don't have bank robbers coming in with masks anymore. This is all happening online. So some of the things that they're talking about is, of course, raising awareness like we are right now, but also continuing to press the big banks to do something to protect their customers. But I'll also say that the financial fraud specialist that I worked with on this investigation is also now advocating and pressing federal lawmakers and the White House to make spoofing phone numbers and websites illegal, as well as including wire transfers in the electronic fraud protection.
So many of these people doing the scams are overseas, and it's hard for authorities to go after anybody.
Yes, that's why they're able to get away with it.
It's a big web. Add to this, it's going to take a while before any of those laws could even, those changes might even take effect, which is why reports like yours, work like yours is really effective. So share her story. Great job, Elise. Really, really honing in, watching out for you with this report. Thank you.